Yeah, good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Kindly drop a one in the chat if you can hear me. Kindly drop a one in the chat if you can hear me. Let's quickly notify others that we are live. If you can hear me, drop a one in the chat. Let's quickly notify others that we are live. Drop a one in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a one in the chat if you can hear me. Please drop a one in the chat if you can hear me. Let's get started with today's market analysis. All right. Drop a one in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a one in the chat. Drop a one in the chat if you can hear me. All right, guys. Kindly confirm if you can see my screen. Minutes. Drop a one in the chat if you can hear me. XAUUSD. Please drop a one in the chat. If you can see my screen, drop a one in the chat. All right, drop a one in the chat if you can see my screen. All right, guys. Without wasting much of our time, let's dive right into today's market analysis. Okay, as always, good morning, everyone, and welcome to T Billion Forex Academy. All right, so welcome to T Billion Forex Academy. If you're new here, my name is Timothy, aka T Billion, and I'm a software engineer, a forex trader, and a crypto investor. This is our weekly live market analysis and trading session where we break down the forex market step by step in a very practical and well-structured way. We hold this session every Monday and Wednesday by 9:00 a.m. West African time. And our primary focus is XAUUSD, which is gold, GBPUSD and BTCUSD, followed by other Forex pairs requests in the chat. The goal of this session is to shape and sharpen your understanding of the smart money concepts, which include order blocks, breaker blocks, market structure, inducements, liquidity zones, and price action, how you can properly read market structure and identify key order block and breaker block zones, as well as liquidity area, and most importantly, how you can apply this concept effectively in new market conditions. So whether you're a newbie trader, an intermediate trader, or you're a pro trader, stay with me as everything we do here follow a clear top-down analysis process. So we're going to start our market analysis with gold. Okay, and after which we'll look at GBPUSD, then we'll close the session with BTCUSD. Okay, so as always, we begin our top-down analysis process on the daily time frame. We establish our directional bias, then identify our key, what's it called, POI, okay, which is basically our order block and breaker blocks. Then we identify our external liquidity, and then we go to our entry time frame basically and look out for our confirmation. Then we take our trade accordingly, out for confirmation when price gets to our point of interest. Okay, then we execute our trade accordingly as soon as our confirmation, aligns. So just a quick one. Let me just quickly touch base on TradeForge before we continue to this market analysis. So TradeForgeOS.com. Again, TradeForge, as some of you might already know, is an execution OS for traders. Okay, you can think about it like an execution engine or an execution tool, an extension for MetaTrader 5, right? It does not really replace MetaTrader 5. It simply connects to your existing MetaTrader 5, then automates your trade execution. So it does not only execute your trade, it also manages open positions, okay? And you define how TradeForge should manage your open positions, as well as your how it should, basically execute your trade, right? It's basically an execution engine for MetaTrader 5. And how do you define these rules? Of course, when I say rules, I mean your strategy. You define it visually, by simply just, going to the build section, then it defines your rules right there. If you scroll through this web page, you go through the, what's it called? The demo video right here. Okay, you see a brief walkthrough on, some of the components of TradeForge. Again, we are currently in what's it called, the pre-launch phase. So once we are fully launched, we're going to create a proper, demo video, a sort of a run through, a detailed guide on how you can build strategy on TradeForge, right? How you can harm your strategy and let TradeForge watch the market for you and execute your trade when the conditions are met, basically. So for now, as I just said, we're in the pre-launch phase. So if you want to be part of the early testers, you can go to tradeforgevoice.com, click on the join early access, then register your email address, and as soon as the beta testing phase opens, an invite will be sent to you to a guide on how you can, download TradeForge and test run the application. Okay. So to be in the loop, to stay up to date with what is going on TradeForge OS, you can click on the join the Telegram community link right here, which takes you to, the Telegram channel, right? You can also, subscribe to the YouTube channel by clicking on this link. Okay, when you click on it, it takes you to the YouTube channel of TradeForge OS. Okay, and on this channel, you can see there's a short video we uploaded on some test execution we did, right? So you can go through those videos, and as well, you can subscribe to the channel to stay in the loop of what is going on around TradeForge OS, so that you can be, notified as soon as we go live and make the app available on Play Store and App Store. All right, so that was a quick one on TradeForge OS. Now let's head back to TradingView to analyze the markets. Okay, so again, we're starting with XAUUSD. Please, I want to be sure I'm not alone. If you're with me, drop a one in the chats. If you're with me, drop a one in the chats. Yeah, drop a one in the chat if you're with me. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so as always, we begin our top-down analysis process from the daily time frame. And as you can see, gold is obviously bearish. Okay, just put up our trend line. Gold is obviously bearish, right? And let's look at where price this bullish move originated from. So we got this break of structure. Let's look at the bullish structure. We got this break of structure to the upside, right? And yeah, we got a break of structure to the upside, and okay, price the bullish move, originated from this the supply zone, right? This demand zone rather originated from this demand zone right here. Okay, which is this. All right, that is where this push, this bullish move originated from. Okay, now since we are bearish, the last break of structure to the downside, let's establish that we have this BOS, and of course there is another break of structure right here. So we have this break of structure right here. Okay. All right, great. And okay, we got this structural break, which of course was rejected right here. Let me take note of that. All right. Now, for our external liquidity, we have the sell side liquidity. Yeah, and we have this is our buy side liquidity. Okay, and of course we have this right here. Okay, currently price, pullback to this uh, other block zone right here on the daily time frame. Okay, price pullback to the other block zone right there, and this is our supply order block zone. Okay, so I would expect price to, if this zone failed, okay, then this is where we'll probably be expecting price to, you know, to pull back to for a possible reversal to the downside. Again, if it fails, because gold is showing a potential bullish trend, okay, but then I think it's too early to say we are bullish, not until this high is taken out, right? Then I can confidently say that we are bullish on gold, but until then, we are still heavily bearish, right? So let's focus more on sell opportunities. That is not to say we cannot take buy opportunity. We can if we got the confirmation to do so. All right, so this is the zone I'm looking at for my point of interest, of which price is already reacting at this, not even reacting, price already tapped into this zone and is currently selling. So let's do to the 4H time frame. Let's drill down to the 4H time frame. So on the 4H time frame, okay. So on the 4H time frame, let's see what we got. Yeah, we got this sort of market structure shift right here. Got this break of structure right here. Got this break of structure right here. Then we have this order block, which is where price is currently, reacting at. Okay, so we have that, and there's also another block right here. Right, so we have this demand order block, let me zoom in, and we also have this order block right here. Okay, so if at all we are going to be buying gold for this break of structure to the outside right here. Okay, all right. So if I thought we are going to be considering a buy on gold, it will be at this zones right here. Okay, so let's drill down to let's drill down to the 1H time frame. drill down to the 1 inch time frame. Okay, for this, I'll be looking at a potential buy right here, and this right here. Okay, so these are the two potential buy opportunity we'll be looking out for gold. Okay. All right, so let's look at this structure. Let's drill down to the 30-minute time frame. Okay. So this is fine at this zone. Like this is very much okay right here. Okay. So this is our inducement, and potentially price is already sweeping liquidity below this inducement. So this is our inducement. Price already sweeping liquidity. We expect price to tap into this. Then we take a short buy. So to consider a long from here to consider a long from here to here, right? And if that fails for any reason, so we would consider taking a long at this zone right here. So again, our SL will be slightly below this. Okay, then our take profit can be this much. And that is why we're anticipating for a potential, buy opportunity on gold. Now, we are still very much bearish, right? This is what I'm looking in terms of a bullish bias. But again, we cannot rule out the fact that gold is still bearish. Although I am expecting this zone to fail, okay, that is why I don't really want to position for a sell just yet, okay. This is why I'll be doing my sell right at this extreme zone, okay. This is why I'll be looking at to sell to short gold right at this zone, okay. But in the meantime, let's look at this sell structure and look for a potential entry opportunity. Okay, so we got this low to the upside. So this was our last break of structure to the upside, right? And of course, this becomes our market structure shift, MS, and okay, and this is our inducement right here. And idea, we call it liquidity, however you want to. And then this is or point of interest, which price has already tapped into. Okay, this would have made a really good sell as a supply order block zone right here. Sell actually originated from this breaker block, from this other block right here. Let's mark this whole level. Okay, yeah. So that was where the sell originated from. And after that, we got this break of structure to the downside, break of structure. And price tapped into this breaker block right here and started selling. Okay, so I think it's too late. We can't get into this trade. We can't take this trade. It's too late. This should have been our best entry. We got our break of structure to the downside right here, and we got our clear inducement. Okay, and now price, is selling. So what I would want to do is to wait for price at this buy, then buy to this zone right here, this other block here, or right here. So that is it. If you want to short gold, I'll be looking at shorting gold here. Be looking at shorting gold right at this um other block zone right here. So that's how I would want to short gold. As I'd want to short gold, there's high probability that this would fail. This right here would fail. So I don't want to pay attention to this. I would rather short gold at this point right here. Okay. And I'll be very conservative with my take profits at that zone right there. Okay, so but for this is what I'll be looking at for a potential, for a potential buy opportunity on gold at this zone or at this zone. And for a sell, this to me, it's not a very strong zone, right? The zone we could have entered for a sell was this breaker block right here, and as you can see, it's already selling. So the zone has been mitigated. So I would rather wait for this, not even this, because this is most likely going to fail. Okay. But again, if you're scalping, of course, you can do a quick scalp there and take your profits early enough. Okay, so this is my buyers on hold. Okay. But again, let's be patient for price to tap into this zone before we probably consider it a buy. Okay. And if it fails, then we're looking at price to tap into this extreme order block for a potential buy. All right, so I'm going to drop this on the free signal Telegram channel. Okay, let me drop it. Excuse me. So XAUUSD, 30-minute outlook. Let's make this a little bit okay, so we're looking to short right here. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. A minute, guys. All right. Uh, okay. Please, if you are with me, drop the one in the chat. If you are with me, please drop the one in the chat, please. All right. All right. All right. All right. So let's move to yeah. Drop the one in the chat if you are with me. Let's quickly move to GBPUSD. A minute, guys. Please let me respond to this message. All right. So let's fire down. Sorry, need to take this drag out and this is the rules. Looking to sell USD. That's a minute. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's look at GBPUSD. Okay. So on GBPUSD, as always, we begin our analysis from the daily time frame. Okay. And so looking at GBPUSD from the daily time frame, you can already tell that the market is bearish, although overall it's a ranging market. But if you have a closer look, you would see that it's currently, you know, selling. So it's bearish, right? And the last break of structure to the downside was this. This was the last break of structure. Okay, so we have this. And all right, so we have Let's look out for external liquidity. We have this sell-side liquidity right here, and we have our buy-side liquidity right here. Okay. Now we got this break of structure as well to the downside. US. Okay. As you can see, markets is currently pushing, better pulling back to this zone. So this is our order block zone right here. Okay. Market is currently reacting at this zone right here. Okay. So I think that is the only zone I can see at the moment. Okay. Yeah, this breaker block failed and became a support. Price tapped into this and is currently, selling to the downside. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this zone where price is currently at. Okay, so on the let's drill down to the 4H time frame. See if we can refine that zone further. So we have this and this right here. Okay. Have this break of structure to the upside. Don't forget the market is bearish. Market is bearish, so we have this break of structure to the upside, and of course okay. All right, so from the 4H time frame, the 1H zone aligned with that of the 4H. So let me drill down to our entry time frame, which is 1 hour or 30 minutes, and I'll look for a potential reversal at that zone. Okay, so for this, since we have this break of structure to the upside, now let me drill down to the 30-minute time frame. Let me use the 30-minute time frame for this. Okay, so this is what I would basically wait for. This right here. So this becomes our last low. So until I get this, I'm not doing anything yet on BTC, on GBPUSD. Okay, I want a shift of this structure. Price has tapped into this or higher time frame point of interest. Right. But I want a shift of this internal structure to the downside, so I can take the sell trade and join the bearish or move to the downside, right? So for now, until I get a market structure shift right here, keep my hands, I won't do nothing just yet. So this is what I'm expecting, a market structure shift. And of course, probably an inducement, price tapping into any of this zone or even this other block zone right here, then I would consider a sell. Now, if we go to the 4H time frame, yeah, there's a potential buy zone right here, a potential bullish zone right here. Okay, demand zone. All right. So what we are doing, we should also pay attention to this. So for that reason, if you're selling, would want to take our TP at this price level right here. Okay, don't be too ambitious with your take profits. Although I expect this market to keep selling until this external liquidity is taking out this right here. So I expect this to continue to the downside, until this is taken out, right? So that is what I'm expecting. But then a reversal could also happen here, and we can't tell the depth of the reversal. This 4H other block zone, yeah, this zone right here. So let's just, if you're going to be selling, we'll be taking our profits there. But if it fails, then wait for a pullback, then join the sell until price takes out this external liquidity right here. Simple as that. All right. So this is what I'm looking at on GBPUSD. Okay. Put it right there on the Free Signal Telegram channel. Reducement. Something like this. It's right here. Okay. Let me share this. Okay. We'll put this on the Free Signal Telegram channel. It's also a 30-minute outlook on GBPUSD. All right. So one more thing to close this live session is BTCUSD. 1 minute, guys. BTCUSD. BTCUSD. All right, guys. So let's fire down. All right, great, 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 great. So let's analyze BTC, then call it a day. Okay, BTC USD. Again, as always, we start our analysis from the daily time frame. Excuse me. All right, so BTC USD obviously is bearish. As you can see, BTC is bearish, right? So we got this last break of structure to the downside. We got this break of structure rather to the downside. Let's zoom in. All right, perfect. So we had this break of structure to the downside, and we got this break of structure as well, BOS, and now we got this, though it was rejected, so it's not significant. All right. Okay, so when price broke structure and pullback, tapped into this breaker block right here and reverses at this breaker block right here. Here's a breaker block. So the price, reversed off of this supply breaker block zone. Okay, and okay, so we have this sell side liquidity, and we have this buy side liquidity as well. Okay, now what do we do? The market is bearish, obviously, and okay, let's drill down to the see the price is reacted at this zone right here. Instead of selling to the downside. Okay, this is supposed to be mm, okay. Let's drill down to the 4-inch time frame to refine the zone we've identified on the 1-inch time frame, on the daily time frame rather. So this was exactly where price tapped into. All right, so what I'm going to do, okay, all right, okay, so okay, let's drill down to the 1 inch time frame and look for a reversal pattern around this zone. Okay, then we'll look for a potential sell opportunity to sell down to this external sell side liquidity. All right, so let's do that on the 30-minute time frame. Okay, so the last break of structure today. Now it is important I identify this minutes. Got this break of structure to the downside and this as well. Okay, so this looks like as a potential, you know, okay. The price has actually tapped into it. It has been mitigated. There is no point. It has been mitigated already. So let's ignore it. Let's go down back to our 30-minute time frame and study the internal structure and analyze the internal structure after price tapped into this zone. Okay, so from here we have this was the last break of structure to the upside before price tapped into the zone, right? So if that is the last break of structure, then I would expect a market shift at this zone. 1 minute, guys, please. All right. Okay, so this is a break of structure to the downside, and this becomes so this becomes our market structure shift if it ever happens. If price ever what's it called, breaks below this low, okay, this becomes our market structure shift. Now, the market is bearish and you know, we're looking for the appropriate setup to join the bearish move, okay, until price takes out this external liquidity right here, okay. So until price breaks below this low and gives me the same pattern I'm expecting on what's it called, GBPUSD, something like this, you know, I'll probably take the sell right here, take the sell right here, and take it all the way to this low. So this is what I would expect. This is what I'm anticipating on BTCUSD. Okay, until I get this, I'm not going to do anything just set on BTCUSD. Okay, this is the reversal pattern I'm anticipating. Until then, I'm not taking any trade on BTCUSD. Okay, so let me share this on the Free Signal Telegram channel. Again, you don't chase the markets, you wait patiently for price, to give you the pattern or structure, you trade before you take your trade. Okay, so that's it. That is it. That is it. Let me share this. We'll call it a day. This is BTCUSD. Minute outlook. Perfect. Okay, guys. I think if you have any question regarding what we've just done, the analysis, please put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. If you have questions, if you have concern, you need clarification, please put it in the comments. Okay, so I think this wraps it up for today. So the key lesson, as always, is your structure. Okay, then your POI, right? First, to establish a direction of bias from the structure and the trend line or the trend line. Okay, then you mark out your point of interest in line with your direction of bias, right? Identify your external liquidity. Then lastly, your entry. Okay, and how do you take your entry? You basically drill down to your entry time frame, 1 hour, 30 minutes. If you even want to drill down for that 15 minutes, but I majorly use 1 hour and 30 minutes for my entry. Once in a while I use 15 minutes too. When I'm scalping, of course, I go as little as 5 minutes. I go as low as 5 minute time frame to to look for my entry opportunity. Right. So that is it. Guys, if this session has added value to you, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. And also turn on notifications so you never get to miss our live sessions. So we'll be back again on Monday next week at 9:00 a.m. West African time. And until then, trade smart and protect your capital. I'll see you guys in the next session. Peace.